everybody. Welcome back to the Gulf Coast Texas High School Football Huddle, brought to you by Citizens Medical Center. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and we have a great show for you this week. As you know, the Huddle is brought to you by Citizens Medical Center. One of the very cool things about the Medical Center is the Healthplex. Citizens Healthplex is Victoria's premier medical fitness and wellness facility. If your goal is to improve your health, prevent disease, help you get strong and fit, or just be well, Citizens Healthplex is for you. In fact, it's for me too. You'll probably see me and my wife there. Their 7,200 square foot facility has everything you need to maximize your enjoyment and get results. They offer all the space, equipment, and classes you'll ever need to get fit and healthy, including a large array of strength and cardio equipment, over 75 classes per week, a degreed and certified fitness staff offering professional instruction. Oh, and if you need to relax, try the steam rooms, whirlpools, dry saunas, and massage therapy. You want to lose weight? Hire one of the personal trainers to work with you one-on-one, and you're sure to see the results you want. Your journey to improved health, fitness, and wellness begins at Citizens Healthplex. All right, everybody, join me in welcoming Mike Foreman from the Victoria Advocate. Mike, let's talk about some Gulf Coast football.
Yeah, we got some big games this week, Chris, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. You teased that in the last episode about all the really good ones are going to come up this week. So first, let's recap. What stood out for you from last week?
Well, I guess one of the biggest things was, of course, Industrial beat Rice Consolidated. That surprised me a little bit, not entirely, but that surprised me a little bit. We also had another thing that happened. I was a little surprised that Schulenburg scored 31 points against Ganado.
Yes, we had that conversation on my show with him. I'm like, look at the bright side. He's put up 31 on Ganado. That's pretty big.
Yeah, of course, Ganado scored 61. But,
right.
but that output really kind of surprised me. Otherwise, I'm trying to think if there was anything that was really a surprise. I saw Shiner in Falls City. Can't say anything there. I thought maybe Falls City might have scored. That was kind of a weird game. I felt like both teams did a lot of feeling out, so to speak.
Right.
The other team, and because I think in the back of their minds that they know they could meet again.
Yeah.
So that kind of stood out to me a little bit. I was also kind of mildly surprised that Cuero hung so close to Sinton. Which is a good sign for the Gobblers because they're hoping to get Jackson Marie back for the postseason.
Right.
And if that's the case, you would think that if they meet again, Cuero would actually have a pretty good shot at them.
Yeah, it's a different team when he comes back.
Yeah, so those were the kind of things that stood out to me about last weekend.
Cool. So what's the plan for this week? You were at El Campo yesterday. Let's talk about those matchups. There's some great.
Yeah, we have two big games this week involving two top 10 teams. One of them, of course, is the traditional rivalry. Bay City and El Campo was in both those places actually yesterday. And the other is Edna and Goliad.
Yeah.
Both those games have two top 10 teams and could determine the district championship. I'd feel a lot safer about saying it about Edna Goliad than right now because Calhoun is 2-0, and as you know, the Sand Crabs kind of have a history of coming on later in the year.
Right.
And they're healthy again. Of course, now they have Floresville this week, which I don't see them having much trouble with.
No.
But then they finish with El Campo and Bay City. So, but yeah, I guess to start with El Campo Bay City, that's very interesting because if you look at what's been going on the last few weeks, I mean, Bay City's just been putting up a number of points. Very explosive offense. Coach Jones said he's really pleased with the play of his offensive line lately. And, of course, I mean, gosh, they have the skill pieces on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, quarterback Alex Estrada, he's a 3-year starter. You've got, the wideouts, you got Zylan Williams, who's, got a lot of speed, and he can throw to him, and Keaton Nunez, another receiver. And then, of course, you got running back Jada Andrews, who's exceptional. So their offense is really good. And you flip it over in El Campo, if you look at El Campo's last 5 games, 3 of them have been shutouts. One of them, they allowed 7 points. So their defense has been playing really well. And, they've been scoring some points too. So I think really if you want to look at El Campo, you say, well, this is the second year that Coach Reeve has been there. And they've really kind of started to get his system down. And so that, and this game is so emotional and so, that really almost anything can happen in this game. I've seen so many things over the years. This is the 121st meeting and 105th consecutive meeting. Just incredible. And it's a great game, I mean, the two communities turn out, and and of course the winner really has the inside track and controls its own destiny about winning a district title.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of Coach Reeve, I do a coach's show with him, so I've been paying a lot of attention to El Campo, and this is such an important step if he can get this Bay City win, and like you said, put themselves in the catbird seat for district. You've got his brother over in Cal Allen who can win a district game championship tonight or Friday. I mean, and you could be seeing that Reeve Bowl coming up.
Yeah, that's true. Out there in the future, you've got them. I think what the important thing about where you finish is if you look at the region, you've got Austin, LBJ, and San Antonio Davenport out there. Yeah. And I think the winner would be able to avoid those two until later on. Right. So that's a big thing, obviously. But, I've seen a lot of crazy things happen at these games. And the other thing, it's kind of weird. I went back and looked. The last time Bay City won back-to-back games against El Campo was 2004 and 2005. Wow. So, I think since that time or since somewhere El Campo, Bay City won last year, of course, and then they won I don't remember the exact year. It was 18 or 19, I think, when Dylan Davidson was the senior. Mm-hmm. But other than that, El Campo had pretty much dominated this series. Yeah. So it's been, I know Bay City's excited because, they feel like they've got a great shot this time. And, but, El Campo is playing really good ball. Yeah. So, it's kind of one of those things where what's kind of neat is it's been a while since, you've had this situation. Right. So, because the last time Bay City won a district title, was 2005, and I believe they shared it with somebody. I don't remember who, but so yeah, it's a big game for both teams. It should be interesting with those two.
Yeah, definitely. And then you talked about the Edna Goliad game. Are you ready to take your game to the next level? Whether you're an athlete, coach, or just someone striving for more success in life, the Winner's Workshop is your secret weapon. Yes, this award-winning course has transformed thousands of lives, teaching the game-changing principles of sports psychology that Fortune 500 companies, coaches, and top performers all use to win. The Winner's Workshop, subtitled How Sports Psychology Can Make You a Champion, is now available on CoachTube for a fraction of the original $499 price. The Winner's Workshop will help you master focus, mindset, and breakthroughs to make you a champion. Click on the link in the show notes or head over to LoneStarGridiron.com and click on the ad today to unlock your full potential. Yeah, definitely. And then you talked about the Edna Goliad game. Edna, we've seen, and we've said for many years, you don't know which Edna team is going to show up. So I think Goliad has a chance here.
Oh, yeah, and Goliad, I mean, it's not like Goliad, Goliad is good.
Yeah.
And, they have some athletes on that team. Lamont Franklin and Donovan Perry are exceptional athletes, and they've got a great line. Although it was interesting, I spoke to Kevin Salazar from Goliad, and he said that he's had his regular starting line together for one quarter this year.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think one of them may have actually suffered a season-ending injury, but they are good up front. Mm-hmm. And so they're no fluke. And the thing about, and when I spoke to Jimmy Mitchell, he was telling me, I think Edna has been a lot more consistent this year so far.
Yeah.
I mean, they did struggle against Industrial, that's true. But since that game, they seem to have figure things out a little more, and he said he's a big process guy.
Yeah.
And as you know, the process, what he means by that is that it's important week to week, regardless of who you play.
Yeah.
It's kind of the Nick Saban school of thinking there, which obviously, if you look at what Nick Saban did, it works. So, but Edna has been they had not allowed a point in district until I know last week London scored 14, but even though it was a blowout. But so we'll see. I think if Edna shows up and plays its best game, I would think Edna would win that game,
right,
especially being at home. But Goliad, like I said, is a good team. And Goliad last year was able to keep the ball away from Edna, and I'm sure that's what Goliad will try and do again. So that'll be the key to see if Edna's defense can, get it off the field. Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, because like you said, Goliad's a good team. I kind of view them as a real scrappy team, because they outperform what you think they're going to do, but they're doing it consistently, so it may be our turn to adjust our expectations.
Yeah, it could be, and that's true. I mean, this is the second year in a row they're doing it, so you got to look at them and respect that. Yeah. So, I think Kevin Salazar's done a great job.
Yeah,
putting that together, and it's interesting because they'll operate out of both the slot T and the spread, which is unusual. Usually a team is one or the other.
Right.
But they'll spread it out a little bit. Although I think primarily they're in the slot T, and their goal is to control the ball.
Right. Yeah, I've seen a lot with slot T coaches where they've added in a lot of spread to them in the last season, really more so than any. Just because of that, if you shut down the running game of the slot T, if you figure that out, you limit them so much. So if they can develop a passing game and get it a little more wide open, they've got other options.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, because I've seen it so many times in the past. Teams that run option slot T, the beer, they get down, say 2 touchdowns, they're in trouble. And
because they're trying to pass and they have no experience passing.
Right. So I think that was a big reason why Goliad, started spreading a little bit. And the other thing is with they have the athletes to do that.
Right.
So, it's not like I know a lot of schools that you look at Calhoun, for instance. When Coach Whitaker came in there, he took a look at his talent and said, what do I have? And that's what he had. And of course, he came from a leaf over there, with Smith. Mm-hmm. And he ran that offense too. So, but it's fit. And then when Calhoun does have some athletes, which they have a few this year, that makes them even more dangerous.
Right on. So what else we got going on in the area? Anything else stand out for you?
Well, I know Ganado is off this week, so that district. I think if Kennedy takes care of business against Flatonia, I think it's pretty much secured the 4th place playoff berth in that district. And of course, you got Industrial going to Bowling and Tidehaven going to Rice Consolidated. Mm-hmm. That district is kind of a week by week thing. We'll see about that. If Tidehaven can win that game, that would set it up for a showdown with East Bernard.
Right.
And then, of course, Industrial still has to play East Bernard. So it's going to be interesting from that standpoint.
Yeah, definitely.
And otherwise, I think if Victoria East, they host Bernie Champion. Mm-hmm. Champion, of course, last year was really good. This year it's 1-3 in district, the same record as East. This is, I think, basically the last stand for East. Yeah. Because if you look ahead of them, they've still got to play Piper and Smithson Valley. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a schedule. And so to have any chance at all, really, I think they have to win this game, and they're going to have some help too. And then West goes to Harlandale, and we'll see. They should win that game, but they're coming off of losses to both Alamo Heights and Bernie. Right. So they're going to have to bounce back, and which they should. And then, of course, I don't envy Gonzales this week. He has to play at Wimberley.
Right, yeah. That's a tough draw.
Yeah, Wimberley seems to have discovered itself again. I know they had 2 losses. I think one of them was to LBJ. Excuse me. No shame there. But the other game, which is really kind of out of our area, but a lot of attention statewide, is Columbus and Hitchcock.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
That should be a monster game.
Yeah, I still think Columbus, it's theirs to lose. I think they're that good.
Yeah, although Yoakum put some points on them.
Yeah, that's true.
The thing is that could be a very high-scoring game, I think.
Well, and I was going to say, and the thing about Yoakum is they put some points on a lot of people, but they don't play defense. So I think they have an amazing offense, but they may need to rethink and move an athlete or two to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think right now Yoakum's goal is basically to beat Hallettsville.
Yeah.
Because that game is going to determine third place, third and fourth. And you don't want to finish fourth because that's Franklin. And if, but from what I understand, that Franklin district, top to bottom, isn't as strong as last year.
Right.
So, but of course Franklin's there. So, we'll see about that. But yeah, I think that Columbus Hitchcock game has an opportunity to put up a lot of points. Right.
If you like offense, that's the one to go to.
Yeah, no doubt. I think there'll be a lot of statewide attention paid to that game.
And you said you're going to be at the El Campo Bay City? Right,
and my friend Gabe Myers will be at Edna Goliad.
Nice.
And then we'll have Kevin Hallstrom at Bernie Champion at East. So, it's one of those weeks we always talk about that, where you hate it because, you got the two good games going.
Yep. Yeah, because you're going to go to a good game, but you're going to miss at least one or two other good games.
Yeah, I always hate that. Are you going to go to a game this week?
I think so. And I never thought I would go to Bloomington twice in 1 year, but I think I'm going to go there mainly because I do a coach's show with Luke Hobbs at Schulenburg, and he's close by, so I figure I'll go there and support him, and of course go see Coach Shands again at Bloomington. And,
right.
To see what happens there.
Yeah, really. When you look at Bloomington, and I know everybody thought when Bloomington lost to Kennedy, kind of everybody I'm sure was going, "Oh, here we go again."
Right.
But like we said, that team has one senior.
Yeah.
And so whatever happens this year, they're putting themselves in position for a run next year. I think if the streak's going to end, I think next year could be the time.
Yeah, I think so. And I think this season will help them a lot because Coach said they doubt themselves, which is the biggest problem, and the kids. And I've seen, little pieces of brilliance on that team. So they have to start becoming to where they understand, look, we can do this. We can win games. So hopefully they'll have a good showing against Schulenburg, and that'll, propel them for, I guess, next season. But yeah, I think it's a great program, a great story if and when they do get back to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. And of course, it looks like, barring anything unexpected, that Schulenburg will probably finish third, and that would most likely put it up against Three Rivers in assuming, of course, Refugio defeats Three Rivers.
Yeah.
That's where the Schulenburg would match up, which I think that's a very winnable game for Schulenburg.
Yeah.
And, of course, like we've talked about before, you don't want to finish fourth.
Right.
But any of those other top three, I think, has a legitimate shot. Of course, first and second, I don't see any of those teams matching up against Ganado or Weimar.
Right.
But, so that'll be an interesting game. I know Aaron Janaszek, Schulenburg's quarterback's having another great year.
Yeah.
So And, I think Luke's done a great job up there because
he has.
When he took over, that program was a mess. And he's turned it around pretty quickly.
Yeah, no doubt. And a good guy, good attitude, and the community is so in love with their Shorthorns. That's what's so great. Yeah,
it is. Of course, I go back to when Coach Huseman was there in the 90s. And, boy, they had some great teams. And, it's good to see the Shorthorns getting back together again.
Yeah. Well, cool, Mike. I will let you get about your day, and I look forward to talking next week about some of these amazing outcomes.
Okay, Chris. You have a good weekend.
You're listening to the Lone Star Gridiron Sports Network.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and I want to thank Citizens Medical Center for bringing you the Gulf Coast Texas High School Football Huddle. Please take a second to share this show with your friends and family. Like and subscribe on any major podcast platform: iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Google Play. Wherever you find podcasts, you will find the Gulf Coast Texas High School Football Huddle. I'm your host, Chris Daly, and I'm hoping to see you at the game.